Hi everyone, so today I'm going to take you through modeling your 3D chip. Your 3D chip is going to be useful for any time you're wanting to use one of the 3D printers in the Innovation Center. What you'll do is you'll just put your chip on the printer and that will let other students know that you're using the printer. In order to model this coin, we are going to do it through a software called OnShape. Now, OnShape is great because it allows you to just work through your internet browser. You don't have to worry about downloading any software packages or having any compatibility issues with your laptop. So in order to create this, we're going to go to the Create button and we're going to create a document. And we are just going to name it your name and chip. Okay. So now it's going to pull up our workspace, and you can see that we have all these different planes in here. And this will allow you to model on different surfaces and get different orientations. So whenever we're doing this, we can use our middle scroll on the mouse to zoom in and out on the planes, and we can also push and hold on the middle scroll and drag our workspace around. When we're doing this, we can also push and hold on the right clicker and we can, change the orientation of our planes as well. And one of the cool features of OnShape is that it also has this box up here that will allow you to just select a corner or a plane, and you can change the orientation there as well. You'll also notice that at the top we have all of these tools up here that we can use when we're modeling. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a sketch. We're going to create it on the top plane. And we do that because the top plane is essentially like the bed of the printer. So this will give us a view of exactly what's going to go on the printer. So whenever I'm modeling, I like to select on the top plane so that then I can see exactly what I'm working on. So we are going to use the circle tool. We're going to take it from the origin and we're going to go out. And you can see as I'm dragging it, it will give you different diameters that you can use. We're just going to pick an arbitrary one, and then we are going to use our dimension tool to change it to what we actually want it to be. So we want it to be 1.5, and now you can see that our sketch has gone from blue to black. So whenever it goes from blue to black, that means that your sketch is now fully constrained, which is really important whenever you're modeling. You want for your sketches to be completely constrained so that then they can't move around. So we're just going to hit the check mark here, and now we're going to use the extrude tool to make this 3D. So now you can see it's gone up a certain depth, and we are going to change that to be 0.2. So now we can see that that looks about like what we want. So now we can just do a check mark on that. So next we are going to make another sketch, but this time we're going to do it on the face of our extrude. We're going to use the circle tool again, and whenever I zoom in, you can see again it wants to highlight different features and it'll give me different constraints. And you can notice that whenever I go from the origin out, it'll drag along these dotted lines to kind of show you that you're going to be designing on your origin line there. So we are going to drag ours up here, and we're just going to push and pull it out. And now we're going to dimension it again. So we want to go from the center point of our circle to the origin point. And we want for that to be 0.5. And we want to give our circle out here a diameter of 0.325. Okay. And so this time, instead of doing a check mark and then going over to extrude, we are just going to select on the extrude button, and now it will pull that out. And this time we are actually going to remove material. So you want to go over to remove. And instead of selecting, some distance, we are just going to go through all. And so now we can see that we have a complete hole there. So we can do a check mark on that. And now we're going to kind of clean this up and make it look a little better. We're going to use the fillet tool. And this will allow us to round all of our edges. So you can just select each of the sides here. Let's make sure we get this bottom one too. And we are going to change that to a radius of 0.05. Okay. So now we can do a check mark on that, and now we have a nice rounded coin there. So now we are going to make another sketch on the face of our extrude, and this time we are going to use the letter tool, and we can just kind of drag and drop it anywhere. And when you're doing the lettering tool, you want to make sure that you aren't using any assumed constraints. So you want to make sure that when you're dragging and dropping, you don't see any of these yellow features. You don't want that. You just want to drag and drop it so that then it'll move with our dimensions. So we are going to name this student, and you're going to put your ID number. We're just going to do a space there, and we are going to make our text bold to make sure that it really shows up in the print. So we can just do a check mark there, and now we can see that it has pulled out this, and so it just makes it as big as it wants, and we're going to dimension it further. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to go over to this vertical line, and we are going to give it a height of 0.2. Okay, so now you can see it's already starting to shrink down. And now we are going to go from our origin point to our top horizontal line up here. We are going to make that a distance of 0.25. Okay. And so now we're going to go from our vertical line over here to our origin point, and we are going to make that a distance of 0.63. Okay. So now we can see that that is fully constrained, it's turned black, and it's sitting on our face correctly. So now we're going to use our extrude tool again, and we want to make sure that we are removing material. And this time we're not looking for a big depth here, so we can change that to 0.02. And it's just going to cut in a little bit. Okay, so we can do a check mark there. Right, and so now that looks good.